Hi guys, for today's teardown, blue metal box from the flea market, 20 euros. So what do you think it is? Where the blue color, military style cover latches, handle. On the bottom, very weird, worn out and filed up it seems, bolts, rubber feet coming off more or less, one missing ear, more rubber feet here allowing to stand it vertically. So it was quite a lucky find at the flea market. I did not expect this, and it instantly becomes one of my older devices, because this thing is 1951-52, something like this. Ta-da! TS 375 A/U volts vacuum tube voltmeter. So it is a US military instrument, probably here for the US Navy, given it is blue, I guess. So very old school thing. They are well known on the internet. They were made by various manufacturers in huge quantities in the 50s. This one has, so far I did not find the manufacturer name for this one. But you have here at least, yes, look at this, a little anchor with a US, so US Navy thing from the 50s. Very interesting. I am missing, sadly, in the cover, according to the photos I found on the web. Normally here in the cover you will have the power supply cable, which will fit in here, and of course it is 110 volts power supply, I believe. So this seems to be a regular US socket. So it will be a female one here, and we have your cable, and male at the other side. So what do we have? We have the main readout, the function switch, zero adjustment, which seems to be electrical, and one other mechanical here for the galvanometer, range switch, both DC and AC, screw-on terminals here to attach wires with. It is quite interesting because you will notice at the bottom of this socket we have what seems to be some plastic or plexiglass or some well, plastic material. So very early plastic in here, or quite kind of a plastic. It will be a little bit better here. So this might be bakelite, but this is clear plastic. So not very usual this. So we have probes you can pull out to measure, and actually, so this probe with a piece of wire, one connector that apparently was never undone because it is super tight. And when it's in service, you can actually pass the probe through this hole, close the cover, and use your probe like this. And the probe is replaceable thanks to this connector, which I will try to loosen up with no damage if possible. Wow, yes, really, it was never undone. I will not go any further because it is super hard. Never unscrewed in well, what is it now, 70 years? Yes, this thing is something like 70 years old. We'll try to find the exact manufacturing date inside, but really old school. Here we have a second probe for alternative current, but this one sadly is quite bad. I am not sure if it is possible to take this apart, but I will not try because it might break. And really quite complicated, this thing. Maybe there is a circlip here or something. So we have a piece of wire here shielded, but you can see it is completely decaying. At the same time the outer sleeve and the internal sleeve of the wires. So really this one is bad and very hard and rigid. I cannot even, I will not try to unspool it any further because really this one is bad. And you can see there is of course a bigger connector because we have more wires and bigger hole in the cover here, but it is the same idea. Here, fuse compartment with spare fuse and they call them pilot lamps. So I believe these parts are original and we have one missing bulb. Very old school, General Electric branded, model number 47, with a glass bead in here. I did check in my bulbs stock to see if I could find a similar one to put here, but no, I have no one with this glass bead. So really old design of bulbs. And all the ones I have are more modern than this. And I did just perfectly lose the two little nuts for this thing, which were so interesting to show you. Where are they? Damn. Here they are. Sometimes when things like this happen, really. You can see little nuts with repeat like this, so you can undo it them by hand and try to install them by hand at least. Okay, so what else? So very sturdy covers here in aluminium with hinge riveted. Tabs like this and super nice Amerton grey paint. So there is this seal, the water tightness seal all around. That is quite sadly, but well, it is. If it is original, I can understand. It was not glued or anything, just a press fit in the gap here, but quite sad thing. Okay, what else? Yes. Super nice. Look at this. Diamond shaped light bulbs. Well, light covers. Really. Oh. Look at this. Really nice. Wow. Glass, obviously. Beautiful. They do not do light indicators like this anymore. Wow, like a jewel. Look at this. Really beautiful. Insane. Very old school bakelite buttons here. With, like I see already, this is definitely Imperial hardware, of course. Okay, let's pop off the bolts on the bottom and we will see what we have inside. So I am not too sure of what happened here, but it is weird. It looks like someone did attack them with a file, because they are quite rough, these things, all four. Except this one I did already try to improve a little bit, but I believe I will need to replace this hardware, and at the same time the rubber fits that are quite bad. So I need to find the same design of It is rubber fit with a metal insert and there is a screw on the other side. Of course, these ones are imperial sized. So I will try to find something matching to replace them. But first I need to find the matching socket for this sad nuts. It is 5/16 of an inch. Because yes, when you deal with US stuff, you need your imperial socket set. That you will not find anywhere in a store here in Europa. Maybe in England, but in hardware stores in France or Germany or whatever, they do not exist. You have to order them online. And usually even the sellers in the stores do not know that imperial size do exist. It is quite sad. So it will just lift off like this. Already a big metal plate that is protecting everything and apparently forcing this standoff to be in the correct location for these screws to pop out. So it is a weird design. I wonder why they did this like so. Why they did not do something else here and just allow to use a regular screw to the cover. Interesting. But first, about the cover, weird marks here, some lacquer or something, because we have at the bottom the schematic, which was, it seems to be a decal which was glued, and they did put a lot of lacquer or something over it to protect it. And we have the wall schematic. So the oops, excuse me, I need to make a little bit of room on my bench. Okay, the VTVM schematic diagram, panel section, underside, chassis section, underside, and all your schematics. So what do we have? We have must be the plug to one of the probes, probably here, where the vacuum tubes, the other yes, the sockets on the front, your selectors, I believe, here, yes, function selectors, bulb, with a cute schematic here for the bulb. Look at this, really interesting, not usual. A bunch of resistors, capacitors, another bulb, transformer, potentiometer, and of course vacuum tubes, because it is written it is a vacuum tube voltmeter. Okay, let's go to the main part with first this information. Maybe it is the manufacturer, M as either F or E, it is not too clear, P, December 1951. Clean terminals and leads before soldering. So this is a reinforcement plate that will straighten everything, but sadly it is totally in the way, so I need to unscrew it to be able to proceed further. And well, I can see already this is not even tight. This will be a pain to replace this hardware. Male to male imperial screws with a super flat hexagonal head here, and for some reason here they did grind or file or cut the screw but it is quite well because this seems to be the original hardware. At least it is Imperial, so it is matching. I wonder what happened here, really. And I already know I do not have this in my 30 kilos worth stock of screws. I have a number of screws in stock. In fact, every time I take something apart, I keep the screws if they are not bad. I sort them and I keep them in bags and boxes. And so I have, for Japanese hardware for example, IFI equipment or things like this, I have tons of screws. So when I need to restore something, I can find, with a little bit of luck, a matching replacement screw. So this is just a steel plate. Okay. And here are all the goodies. So I am checking if it is possible or not to remove this chassis part. I am not sure. I believe I will not attempt because seems to be quite the wire, some wires will be in the way, so I will not proceed too much further, but we will try to have a look at everything possible at least. So what do we have? So the front panel here at the back with all the switches and wires to the front panel, the little boxes to the probes with of course here your connectors to the probes, here the fuse holders we did see previously. Already here something weird, it is called C112, so it might be a capacitor. In fact we can check this on the schematic. I know. Look at the left, this part here is your frequency AC probe. So there is actually a vacuum tube in the probe itself. I was not able to open. And this goes to this connector here. And yes, we have some kind of a decoupling capacitor to ground here. Look at this. So this weird square thing is some kind of a capacitor. Wires. Main transformer here. Maybe we have PCBs in here. Made by, there is a manufacturer written here, but it is behind this plate. Industrial Transformer Company in Goldberg, something like this, Pennsylvania. Okay. Your regular metal sleeve military tubes from General Electric. So this is maybe a dead code. So maybe this tube was replaced. It is dated 56. On this one here we have a nice some kind of military logo. Of course military references, Jan. On the side here two kind of neon bulbs with two metal parts in them. These are not secured to... no. Oh, yes. In fact, they are secured very well. I should push them, be able to push and turn, but it will not do it. So I will not try any further, not to break something. Do I see them on the schematic? Maybe, yes. This here, I guess. Oh yes, it is exactly this one. V106. V106. Okay. So what do we have else? So big transformer, your vacuum tubes secured by interesting metal parts here. Here a set of old school Allen Bradley style resistors with regular color bands, some old school capacitor, adjustment plate with two potentiometers, fixture for spare V17, V18, I believe it is this part here at the back, which is apparently possible to replace, but we will see it later. First I will undo this cover because I know it is loose, and we will see something very nice. Will it collaborate? Look at this. Cornell Dubilier capacitor, probably mica ceramic capacitor, something like this. I'm going to try this to get this out of the way. Ah, it is good like this. Look at this, how beautiful it is. Nice logo, patent number. And actually, this design of a capacitor was copied by the Soviets. Look at this. This is a Soviet one, that code of 79, so a lot older, but almost the same footprint, same terminals, same shape, a little bit thinner, not the nice Cornell Dubilier logo, obviously. But even the shape of the logo is a little bit similar, so really interesting. Okay, two old school, probably Allen Bradley potentiometers in here. So I will reinstall this part. Everything is loose in this, by the way. So we continue. Here apparently two big capacitors sealed, one more vacuum tube. This box here, I do not know what the deal is because we have just potentiometers. I am not sure the purpose of these screws here, what they serve, because it is just a box with potentiometers and wires here, excuse me. Big ceramic power resistors here, it seems. Old school, look at this. Wow. Capacitor with color dots. Wires with some kind of sleeve, heat-shrink sleeve, something like this. Already. Here more Cornell Dubilier capacitors. Your bank of power resistors and precision resistors. Very old school. Look at this. Really quite insane. Very old school. And I believe the last thing to see actually is this weird vacuum tube that is intended to be replaced. So I am not sure what the deal is here, but you can see there is some kind of a plexiglass plate or plastic plate with quite a poorly soldered wires. So I believe this was already repaired. The screws are loose and the socket for the replacement part is empty. So yes, they did already repair it. Ah. It looks like you can pull it out and it will, you have spring contacts here, yes. You insert the little wires. So yes, it is designed to be a replacement part, but you can see here they are almost touching. And what is it called? The GRP 5904 made by Raytheon. So interesting little vacuum tube. I am wondering something, because sometimes vacuum tubes use radioactive materials. So we will check out real quick. Well, it is not going crazy, it is good. And here on the back, oops. Really? Are you kidding me? Okay. Bad battery contacts. This dosimeter is quite poorly designed. No, okay, we have no massive amount of radiations, except in this area there is something. So it is interesting. Let me unzoom a little bit and we will try to locate. Yes, there is something radioactive in here. And it looks like it is actually this one. I was not expecting this. Yes, 0.1, 1.2 microsievert on climbing. So is this one the same? Here on the left? No. So there is something else. It is weird because is it the same part number between these two things? V105 and 106. 991, and I'm checking on the schematic if I can find this second one like this. Not sure. Interesting. So there is something radioactive in here, but it is definitely in this area. So yes, must be this one. I do not believe the vacuum tubes here will be radioactive. No, it is definitely the laser tube is centered in this thing, so yes, definitely must be this item here. I'm checking on the back if we have nothing in particular, but no, I do not think the wafer switch will be radioactive, so maybe we have maybe no. Also I was guessing maybe we could have radium in the white slot here, but no, so it must be really the vacuum tube. Okay, always interesting to check these things for radioactivity. Okay, so I was busy with this. So you can see you can obviously pull it out and install a new one, but for some reason they did deal with wires here, and you can see one came loose, the blue one. So usually, obviously this thing was used quite a lot and needed maintenance. According to the state of the case nuts, at least, and probably a replacement tube here also. Okay, quite interesting device, super vintage. I do not know yet what I will do with it. If I want to restore it, the issues will be to find a better hardware than this for the back, because this is really junk, and also this seal and the rubber fit. So the rubber fit, maybe I can find replacements, but really interesting. No power on attempt so far because I do not have a 110 volts transformer. Probably this will be leaky, these capacitors. Could be interesting to try it for sure. Very nice stuff. and it was only 20 euros on eBay, so even if I wanted to purchase one, excuse me, in the flea market, if I wanted to purchase one on eBay, 20 euros should be just the shipping price, at least. So it was really a good deal, and the guy had no clue of what it was as a device, of course, as was the time. People sell things without knowing what they are selling. Okay. Very, very interesting. So, thanks for watching. Bye bye.